Well, hey there, kiddos. I'm sorry that I'm missing you today. We're going to talk about percent of change, which is just more percent bars, and I know you're really good at that, so I'm going to try and go fast and sort of maybe skip a few steps and hope that you can keep up. If you have questions, make sure that you come in Thursday morning and ask about them on your homework. So number one, Mrs. Moore's class started with 25 students in it, and now it has 28 students in it. We want the percent of change. So our percent bar, which is nicely drawn here for us, we're going to set it up. Our 100% with percentage change is always our original amount, what we started with, and it tells me started with 25 students. Now it has 28, which means that I have more students than I had before, so I'm going to extend my bar. I now have 28 students. I need that as a percent. So I have my proportion. I'm going to multiply and set it up. So 28 times 100 is 2800. 25 times x makes 25x, and when I divide both sides by 25, I get that x equals 112. So that means that this is now at 112%. That does not mean it increased 112%. You see, it only went from 100 to 112, so it is really just a 12% increase. So Mrs. Moore now has 12% more kids. So the next question. There was a sale going on at the jean shop. A pair of jeans that had been priced at $45 is now on sale for $30. So now we still have a percent change, but what we have is it's decreasing instead of increasing. The jeans were $45 originally. Now they're $30. I need to know by what percent were they marked down. What was the discount? So cross multiply. 30 times 100 makes 3,000. X times 45 makes 45x. And when I divide, I come up with a repeating decimal. I get 66.66666. Well, I know that 6.6 repeating is 2/3. So what I know is that this is reduced to 66 2/3%. So my new percent is 66 2/3. But that's not the percent off. To find the percent off, I have to subtract here just like I did up here. So my difference between 100% and 66 2/3% is 33 1/3%. So they are marked down by 33 1/3%. That's how much you're going to save on those new pair of jeans. So number 3, the Just for Fun Sporting Goods store advertises all inline skates are on sale for 20% off the regular price. It's 20% off. We got to find the sale price. So again, I have my percent bar, and since these aren't drawn for me, I'm going back to my line. The original price of the skates was $135. They're on sale for 20% off. So if I want the sale price, I'm going to take 20% off of my 100%, which gives me 80%, because 100 minus 20 is 80. And if I find out what that amount is, that will give me my sale price. So I'm going to cross multiply. 80 times 135 gives me 10,800. X times 100 is 100x, and when I divide both sides by x, I get that the skates are now $108. That's the sale price. So now, Just for Fun Sporting Goods has a tennis racket. And so stores usually will sell things for more than what they actually cost. That's how they make their money. This is how they get profit. It's called the markup. And so Just for Fun Sporting Goods prices items 30% over the price they paid. If the selling price of a tennis racket is $65, how much did the store pay for it? Well, in this case, I don't know the original price of the tennis racket because that's how much the store paid for it, but I do know that they marked it up to $65. And that is 30% more than what they paid, so that's at 130%. So I'm going to cross multiply. This becomes 6,500. This right here becomes 130x. And if I divide everything by 130, I get that the original price of the tennis racket was $50. So the store paid $50 for it. They charged you $65. They get a $15 profit. So now, Mr. Hanson owns a bookstore. He's going to buy used books at 25% of the cover price, and then he's going to sell them at 45% markup off of what he paid. So Jerry sold Mr. Hanson 3 books with these cover prices, $7.95, $5.95, and $12.10. If Jerry bought back all 3 of his books, we want to know how much he would have to pay. Well, step 1, I need to know the total of his 3 books. So I need to add up these 3 prices, and I get that his total is $26. Now, Mr. Hansen is going to buy them. So first of all, we need to know how much is Mr. Hansen going to pay for the books. So we're going to do a percent bar for Mr. Hansen. And so the books right now are $26 altogether, but he's going to buy them at 25% of that. So he's going to pay 25% of that cost. That's what he's going to pay for the books. Okay? So we're going to find what 75% of those books are, because he's going to pay 25% of that. 25% of that. We're going to find out what 25% of that is. That's what Mr. Hansen is going to pay. We're going to cross multiply, so I get 100x equals 650, and when I divide both sides by 100, I get that x is equal to $6.50. So Mr. Hansen is not paying very much for these books. He's going to pay $6.50. Not a lot, okay? Now he's going to mark them up to 45%. So we got to find out what Jerry's going to pay. So now Jerry has to pay 45% of this $6.50. So right now they're at $6.50, but Mr. Hansen's going to mark them up 45%, so Jerry's going to have to pay 145% of that. So again, we cross multiply, so I have 100x equal to, and so when I do 650 times 145, I get 942.50. And when I divide both sides by 100 here, I get that Jerry's going to have to pay $9.42 for his books. So now you have your homework in your packet. You need to make sure you flip to it. It is class work until the bell rings, so that's what you need to be working on. Whatever you don't finish is your homework. It's all due tomorrow, and I will be checking your packets.